Today I want to talk about the band KISS, but not just that. There's a reason why I have chosen this topic here today, because this is also a little unboxing video. Yeah, you know that I work for the record company Six Music and the label GoldenCore. And yeah, I did a lot of releases there during the last month, and there will be even more in the next month. But still, there are products other people of this company do, and one of this is a tribute to KISS from the band Pretty Boy Floyd. What a weird name, but it was a criminal, very famous criminal in the USA. And so that's a pretty cool name, I guess. And the guys were pretty, I guess. I can't say that, as you girls have to say if these guys were pretty back then. Yeah, this was a band that started a little too late with glam and yeah, they did glam rock, glam heavy metal, not too far away from Motley Crue and other bands like that. But they were a little too late. I think their debut came out in '89, so they had 1 year before the '90s started. And of course the '90s were especially horrible for hair metal bands, because from cool to ridiculous, this went within a few months when Nirvana showed up and all these other grunge bands that destroyed a lot. Okay, we won't talk about this topic, but yeah, these guys are back too, and they did that tribute to KISS. And as a KISS fan, yeah, this is a band where I also enjoy tribute albums. There was one very famous called Kiss My Ass that was made, I think, even together with a band. There were Lenny Kravitz with Stevie Wonder, Anthrax was on it, Garth Brooks was even on it, the Germans Die Ärzte were on it. So this was a big one. And usually you find tribute albums from KISS where a lot of bands meet and do that, or content will be bought to create a KISS tribute album. But it's more rare that one band is doing a KISS tribute, and yeah, these guys did it, and it fits well. It sounds a little bit like a glam version of all the old KISS songs. Even the guitar, bass, drums thing are pretty original, I must say. But it's the vocals. It's more Vince Neil than anything else. And yeah, this gives this music a different touch, because I never saw KISS as a glam band at all. That's one of the biggest mistakes, and I always hate to read KISS is a glam band. It's too gloomy and dark for being a glam band. Yeah, what is pretty cool about this LP is not just that the CD of that is in that too, but there is two songs that are not too obvious here. The one is Room Service, the opener of Dress to Kill, a song that I always loved. And one of my favorite songs from the album Hotter Than Hell, it's Going Blind. There was a great version by the Melvins, by the way, some years back. But yeah, and the rest is, of course, what the fans need. So yeah, they really did a good job here. And this is the album. CD is inside, so you can see the track list of the vinyl and the CD here on the back side. And I just checked it out. It's not very expensive at all. I think in the Six shop it's about 16 or 17 euros or so. So if you want to consider to have a party and you want some alternative KISS versions, then this thing here is pretty cool. Yeah, but I also want to talk a little about KISS. It started for me as a kid, and I really mean as a kid. I was in, I think, Grundschule is it in German? I think you call it basic school. It's not preschool, of course, but the first school you are in here in Germany after you were in preschool. And yeah, an older brother of a school friend told me, yeah, you know, this band where a guy is spitting blood, and then he showed me the album cover. I think it was Alive 2, which you might see here, I think, yeah. Yeah, I was totally fascinated by that. I was listening to, I think I already listened to Status Quo, which was pretty heavy for back then. But the rest was LPs from my dad, so it's Creedence Clearwater Revival, still to this day. Some compilations, Rolling Stones, a little Elvis, so the usual stuff for a guy of my age in his teenage years, not teenage, in his kiddie years. And then there was KISS, and yeah, this was a new world for me. First, the music appeared heavy as shit to me, and it was when you listen to the 70s album and you skip some Christine 16s of and other songs like that, or ballads like Beth. What remains is heavy rock, even heavy metal. If you take songs like "I Stole Your Love" or the Black Sabbath-like "Strange Ways," which is my absolute favorite song of KISS in general. So there I was, and there was this world. There was a youth magazine, I think it's still going strong today, called The Bravo, with all the teenage stars in it. But there was a lot of KISS in that, and I bought all these issues. So my first album, I think, was Alive One. And the rest was more cassettes back then. I still have a few of them. It was these Bellafon Casablanca cassettes, because I just had a cassette recorder in my little room, and my parents had the turntable, and I couldn't use it all the time, even I did it. Yeah, then my friends bought also some. I remember that I didn't have Dress to Kill. It was a schoolmate who had it. So in the end, I was pretty much into KISS. It became my world. In the carnival season, there was no other option than just going as Gene Simmons, or you see that here now, or Paul Stanley. So it was unbelievable. Yeah, and finally, one thing happened. It was in 1980 when KISS finally came to Germany. Before that, it was some excerpts on TV, on German TV, which was not many channels back then. I think there was on the third program 45 minutes or 40 minutes of the Destroyer show, which, I saw half of that. So I was so curious to see all that live, what I just know from all the photos. And yeah, KISS came over. They just have released an album that was not very satisfying back then to me. It was Unmasked. I was able to live with Dynasty, because there were still a ton of heavy songs on that. It opens up with "I Was Made for Loving You," but hey, after that it's pretty cool, and the Ace Frehley songs are really great on that one. Same with Unmasked, by the way. Torpedo Girl is one of my favorite songs, but I remember that I was not too happy as a kid about Unmasked, but still, KISS were coming to Germany, and my dad had a good friend who wrote for a newspaper, and they all got free tickets to write about the show, but they didn't need to go there. They could decide for themselves if they want to do it or not, and he didn't want to do it, so he gave 2 tickets to my dad. We drove about 1 hour to a city called Karlsruhe. Schwarzwaldhalle was the venue. And then there was KISS on their Unmasked tour. Unfortunately, Iron Maiden was the support, so I changed my direction a little bit after that because of Iron Maiden. But still, it was a blast to see KISS. I can't remember too well. I was 9 or 10 years old, so it's really hard to remember much. I have more views on Iron Maiden and the little Eddie they had than on KISS, but it was with the new drummer Eric Carr, so I was fine with that. Ace Frehley was still there, so at least I saw nearly the original lineup back then. Yeah, like I said, Iron Maiden did a lot. They changed me more over to British bands like Saxon, Girls' School. My friends already, or older brothers of my friends already had these albums, so I was really more interested in what became heavy metal, and what this made me a metalhead. Still, I got the album The Elder, and I loved the first song, The Oath, back then, because it was really heavy with double bass. Double bass was pretty new to Kiss, except of Save Your Love on Dynasty, but that's Anton Fick playing drums, so a session drummer. And not Peter Criss, he never played double bass. Yeah, but also here I was not too impressed, and I lost interest in Kiss, of course. Today I love The Elder. The Elder is one of my favorite albums, but back then it was just individual songs that I was able to listen to. Yeah, then the 80s was just heavy metal for me. No interest much into 70s hard rock or anything that was beyond heavy metal. Yeah, Slayer came, speed metal came, thrash metal came, and this went on until the late 80s. And yeah, then we had Cryptic Slaughter, Wehrmacht, and bands like that. And yeah, this was the edge for me. This is death metal also started. I still like Possessed. I like the old Death albums, but this started getting a little too much to me. It even felt senseless to me a little. So yeah, what shall I do? I was not happy with the recent music of the 90s. Even Faith No More and stuff was pretty cool, and Bad Motorfinger from Soundgarden, I still think it's a good album. But yeah, so I looked back more. I started collecting new wave of British heavy metal, which became one of my absolute favorite styles. I know it's not a style, but to say it like that is more easy now. Yeah, and through that I explored 70s rock, not just the big names like Deep Purple, UFO and stuff, but also the smaller and underground acts like Sir Lord Baltimore or Dust, and yeah, whatever is called proto metal these days. So with that, there was Kiss again. That was funny. And I listened to all these Kiss albums, the early albums through the 70s, with fresh ears, and I noticed that so many of my friends are wrong when bashing Kiss for being just a glam band that can't play. I mean, Kiss never were virtuosos on their instruments, but they had character. Gene Simmons has a typical character when he plays bass. Ace Frehley, we don't need to talk about that. For sure not the best guitar player in this world, but he just plays one solo and you know who it is. Paul Stanley and his voice. I love the voice of Peter Criss, and sometimes his drumming was really cool. Then there were some moments where you think, what is this guy doing now? But even as a musician, playing in bands later like Manila Road, where you have to play really a lot, and you have to play at least good to even play those songs. I today can listen to Kiss, but even I notice that it's not the best band in the world, and it's not important at all. It's the attitude, it's the sound, it's the way it touches you, and there is so much great stuff in 70s Kiss. And I even tried the Unmasked time, not the album Unmasked, but Kiss without makeup. And for some reason, when the makeup was gone on Lick It Up, I still to this day I can't listen to all these albums. I'm I can't say why. It's more hair metal. If you're a fan of Motley Crue, Poison, and all this stuff, sure you like these years of Kiss. But for me, there was nothing. There was some nice stuff on Revenge here and there, and I even can find 2 or 3 songs on this grunge album, Carnival of Souls. Yeah, but yeah, Kiss came back with that MTV Unplugged for me. It was totally cool to see that on TV when Ace Frehley and Criss joined the guys. This was a sensation back then. Yeah, and then the reunion tour came. I got, again, free tickets for that, Frankfurt, and I saw that reunion tour, and Cat, what do you do? And this was a blast. This was a blast. I was back into Kiss while listening to all the other styles of music, and then to see the heroes of my youth that I have found again was unbelievable. I was in the first row, and it was hurting because of all the 10,000 people in the back, but it was worth it. Yeah, I think the next one I was on the Psycho Circus tour. Well, the cat is biting me just for fun. He loves me, but the Psycho Circus tour, and again it was the original lineup. I'm really happy that I was there. But yeah, that's it. Since then, yeah, Eric Singer and Tommy Thayer are back, or it was not, I think, at the same time, but during the next years. And yeah, then the big thing came. A friend of mine, and he was also the boss of Street Clip TV, Bernd Wohlleben. He was helping out the German tour manager, or the German tour organizer of KISS on these tours that I just have mentioned, and they became also friends. So yeah, he invited me to go backstage on the 35 Alive tour in Munich and in Mannheim, but not just backstage for some minutes. We arrived early in the morning, and I was able to I saw the empty venue, I saw the trucks arrive, and when we left, it was the same. The venue was empty again, and the trucks left. So I was there the whole day in Mannheim and in Munich, and I watched how they set up the stage. I even met Kiss, but I was, of course, not allowed to behave like a fan and say, "Hey, Gene," or something. He was just standing next to me saying, "Hello." He was watching if everything went well in the venue. He was eating something, had a baseball cap on. I saw Paul Stanley talking to the support band, which was a more or less unknown band. For hours, he gave them tips how they should start with their career and stuff like that. It was impressive how regular and nice these people are. I should have a second camera here right now. Yeah, this was these 2 days I will never forget. I was even touching the drum set and talked to roadies, and I was sitting in the office of the tour manager and see what problems such a show can cause. It was unbelievable. I can't talk about that here. In 2 cases, it was close to that the shows can't go because of problems like the statics of the venue and stuff like that. It was really, really impressive. Yeah, this was. Then the next big thing came. We played with Manila Road Sweden Rock Festival and Hellfest, and in both cases KISS were playing. So the dream of my childhood and youth, even, that my band, of course I wouldn't call Manila Road my band, I was a part of that band, but my band is playing on the same bill as KISS, and there are posters with KISS and my band somewhere here, was another moment of glory, to say it like that, because yeah, this band was a part of my life most of the time. So yeah, this was the second thing. Okay, we didn't meet them. We watched them when they went off stage and all that. And I talked to the pyro guy for a while and asked him if he has something for us, which he hadn't. Yeah, so this was the second big thing. So the biggest KISS things, beside that old Unmasked show, happened years and years later. So yeah, today KISS is the ultimate band for me when I have no idea what I shall listen to. It sounds not cool or so, but yeah, sometimes what shall I listen in my car today? And if I have no idea, I have my own CDR that I made the best of KISS with my favorite songs. It's a 3 CD box set, and this is always cool. I can listen to that every day. I have no problems with that. I can't listen to all the studio albums in a row. There is always something that I don't like too much. You should listen to the whole thing, since it was reissued. The songs are in the correct order, so it makes at least a little sense, this weird story. Yeah, of course, the live albums, I think I can go through the debut, Dress to Kill. Yeah, the first 3 I can listen to all through, but still there are some songs that simply are overdosed, like Breaking the Law from Judas Priest. So if I would never listen to rock and roll all night these days. When I'm drunk on a party, it's okay, but okay, I skip that song these days. There's way more to explore between all the hits this band has. There is this gloomy, almost human on Love Gun, the Strange Ways, this Black Sabbath-like song on Hotter Than Hell. It's always something that is very exciting and not that known. And therefore it makes sense for you to check out the 70s KISS albums. There is, and not just glammy hits, because yeah, like I said before, I don't see KISS as a glam band. Yeah, so this is my little KISS corner in my house. My collection is not as huge as there are fans that own everything, or not everything. It's impossible, because they must be at least millionaires to do that. But I have all the albums on CD. I'm totally into Japanese pressings. I have SHM CDs, the best sounding options right now. If you want to listen to KISS, I have them all. And yes, tributes. Here's a new one now for me. The Pretty Boy Floyd tribute to KISS. So I think we got it. Okay, there's this suitcase. This was a big thing back then when it was released. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I think I filmed a little bit, will film a little bit and cut it into this video. So enough KISS now. It's time to go to bed now and dream about KISS, maybe? Okay, thank you.